up everyone, Kawaii here, and welcome to my playthrough of Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 8. This is part 8 of my Grisaia Phantom Trigger Volume 8 playthrough series. If you haven't seen the other 7 parts, or if you'd like to see my playthroughs of Volumes 5 through 7, you can look at the playlist link in the description down below. But yeah, we're going to pick up where we left off back in part 7, so without further ado, let's get to it. Here we go, guys. So last time we were left off, things haven't been going well for the girls, to say the least, the nun girls. We have lost a bunch of them, and so the only ones that are left are Sally, Natalie, and Alma and Irma. Or at least I'm assuming that those twins are still alive. However, Sally is missing right now, so really all that's left is Natalie for now, until we get a confirmation of Sally's whereabouts. So here we go. If I didn't want to die, I had to escape. But what if I didn't know where to escape to? Then I would have to read the tide of the battle. The only way to do that was by figuring out where my comrades' guns were pointed, and the enemies. These situations can change rapidly. Things rarely go according to plan. You need to be flexible and adjust your judgment with every development. That's what it means to be spontaneous. Because when things happen, when things you can't predict happen, you gotta change your plan, your way of thinking, just like that. Just like that. You need to adjust to changes in plans easily, otherwise things are not going to go well for you. You can't just look ahead when you run. You have to look around and think. That's the only way I know how to survive as a looter who used to make a living off this conflict. Oh, Bruno. I came to a halt when I heard somebody call my name. I turned to look and was met with a familiar face. The moment his name escaped my lips, the heavy feeling that had been weighing on my gut like a rock seemed to melt away. He didn't appear to be seriously injured, but I noticed that he was carrying a different automatic rifle from before. I wondered if perhaps he'd been picking up a different one every time he ran out of ammo. A reasonable assumption. Just as that thought crossed my mind, I noticed him checking the magazine and glancing around to see if there were any usable weapons lying nearby. The act of picking up a gun isn't as simple as it might seem. It's a tool to protect yourself, but it's also a tool to hurt others. Carrying one makes you a target for other people who are just out to defend themselves. If you pick up a gun, you must be ready to kill, but you must also be aware that you might be killed yourself. Annoyed, Bruno clicked his tongue at me and pointed the muzzle of his rifle at a large hole, a trench in the ground. Ooh, World War II up in this bitch. I did as I was told, and once we had taken cover, I set Natalie down on the ground. I felt her body stiffen, and then she let out a little gasp. I turned to see what she was looking at, and my eyes met those of 2 guards who must have arrived here before us. Corporal? Corporal Donnie Brown? Uh-oh. One of the men was heaving for breath, his hand on his chest. It was Corporal Donnie Brown, leader of the abandoned squad. I squinted to see who was with him, and faintly made out the figure of Roger Haywood, the thirsty man. The corporal had 2 gunshot wounds in his chest and 3 in his stomach. It appeared that the bullets had entered through his back. Woo! Damn, Corporal Brown is a trooper. He took some hits. A lot of hits. Well, I don't think you can accuse this man of not going out fighting, that's for sure. I assumed he got shot while shielding Roger as they were retreating. His wounds looked like they were likely fatal. It seemed a miracle that he was even conscious. Some tells me he's not smiling anymore. The corporal, noticing that I was unarmed, shoved his gun into my hands. He pushed it towards me so forcefully that it was hard to believe he was seriously injured. I had no choice but to accept it. I glanced over at Roger, who was lying down next to the corporal. He looked like he'd already breathed his last. Bruno, having noticed this too, started searching his body for ammo and other supplies. just like always. He took his handgun out, pulled back the breech block, and loaded a round into the chamber. You mean the slide? What is a breech block? I've never heard of that terminology. Then he lifted the gun and placed the muzzle against his head. I immediately understood. I reached out, trying to grab the gun from his hand, but when my eyes met his, my hand froze. There was the hint of a smile in his eyes. So yeah, he's still smiling, huh? And he's still laughing. You know something? Honestly, I don't blame him for making this choice because, well, they have no medic. The man who somewhat associates with medicine, but not medical practice, is dead. His head blown to smithereens. So, I mean, even if he didn't pull the trigger on himself, like, he's gonna probably die anyway, since he has nobody's gonna tend to his wounds, so. Well, rest in peace, Corporal. You try to help the main group, at least. The sound was muffled, perhaps because the muzzle was pressed directly to his head. The clack of the empty shell being ejected from the chamber was perhaps louder than the shot itself. The corporal's head went limp, and then it dropped to the ground, still clutching the gun. Yeah, come on, Corporal, there are children watching! At least I managed not to scream. Maybe I was getting used to such horrible sights. It may sound heartless, but my biggest concern was Natalie being exposed to even more trauma. Bruno sounded almost bored as he peeled the corporal's fingers from the gun's grip, its muzzle still emitting white smoke. He was right. That was exactly why I didn't want Natalie exposed to any of this. I didn't want more children to shoulder that burden. Maybe Bruno was thinking the same thing. He took a glance at Natalie, still standing next to me, before asking. Couldn't think of any other way to explain it. I was completely focused on running away with Natalie, and before I realized it, we were alone. He sounded like he had resigned himself to the situation. He removed the magazine from his own automatic rifle and replaced it with the one he had got from Roger. What do you mean? I wasn't sure what he meant. Had Oliver gotten himself killed in some dumb way? Oh, I see.
敵に寝返ったのか。寝返ったっていうか諦めたんだろうな。こりゃいよいよ潮時かなって言い出してよ。武器を頭の上に掲げて出て行った。それでどうなった？殺されたよ。最初はさ、武器を捨てろ。膝をついて手を頭の後ろで組めって言われて、オリバーは言われた通りにした。敵に警戒されないように半笑いの笑顔まで浮かべてな。けどそれが良くなかったんだろうな。敵もそんなオリバーのにやけ面にカチンときたんだろう。何笑ってんだよって。
Was it one of the girls that shot him, or was it just some random enemy soldier from Surf? I wonder. Because I don't remember them talking about taking in hostages, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Maki that shot him. The Maki sounds like the type of person to be triggered when somebody surrendering smiles at her the wrong way.
敵の一人がオリバーを蹴り飛ばしていったよ。投降だ。
Okay, I don't think that's okay. I don't think this line sounds like one of the girls.
この戦闘で仲間や兄弟を殺された奴は敵にもいるんだろうな。仲間の敵だ、弟の敵だって。連中の隊長らしき男が止めても聞きゃしねえ。酔ってたかって袋叩きだ。鼻を潰されて、牙を折られて、眼下を砕かれて。もう人相がわかんなくなるぐらいぐちゃぐちゃにされて、それでやっと気が済んだかと思えば。 最後は半泣きの男に銃殺された。
Damn。
そんな様子をこっそり見てたのは俺だけじゃねえ。あんなの見せられちゃよ。もう誰も投稿しようなんて思わねえよ。仲間を見捨てて、一人だけ助かろうとした挙句、袋叩きにされて最後は銃殺だ。味方にすらざまあみろって思われるような死に方だぜ。
Oliver. He was a good man, even though we don't know what he looks like. We still didn't even know what he looks like. Even in death, we don't know what he looks like. They could at least show us a glimpse of him before he died. I mean, even Matthew got that courtesy, but Oliver didn't for some reason. Ooh. What's your kill count, Bruno? What does it mean to die? Bruno wanted to take as many people as possible with him in death. Did he think that would give it more impact or something? Maybe that way of thinking was why the enemy hated us so much. Natalie was looking up at me in a daze. I know, Natalie. I was being naive. But I believe that no matter how desperate the situation, we mustn't give up on trying to stay human. If you give up on being human, then you don't get to die as a human either. I wasn't sure what Bruno was thinking, but he must have noticed my expression darken. He spoke up again, this time in a more cheerful tone. Yeah. Oh yeah, that should make them. Yeah, that should definitely make them. That should definitely brighten their spirits. Yeah, more gunfire. What's not to love? Oh wait. Volley of support fire from their side? Oh wait. Okay. Yeah, if it's a volley of support fire from their side, then that's a good thing. Actually, yeah, that actually is something worth smiling about. I don't know. I mean, cause what if you guys are in its range? I mean, you guys remember what happened to Luis, right? I mean, a plane got shot down right above you, and then she got crushed by a corpse. What if that happens again? We should be able to avoid getting hit. What a brave guy. Even all the shit he's seen and been through, he still has the energy to be all excited and shit. God damn. They weren't hanging back because they were cowards. It was because they recognized the value of a human life. They know that a soldier who's been trained for 10 years can accomplish as much as they're on their own as 10 new recruits put together. It doesn't matter how many amateurs you rope in. If anything, it only puts you at a disadvantage. Amateurs don't know anything. They must be easy to work with because of how blindly they obey their commanders. But they're just as quick to break. Their only strength lies in their momentum. Just look at how TFA operates. First, they waste all their skilled soldiers, and then they flood recruits like my brother into the field with little to no training in a desperate attempt to overwhelm the enemy. What did they expect? Even if they had kept back some experienced soldiers as they increased the number of recruits, it wouldn't have taken long for things to fall apart. And if any of those more valuable soldiers had survived, they'd only have become looters, no longer wanting to be any part of this war. Thugs will be thugs. No matter how many you gather together, it doesn't give you any advantage. But there was no point speculating about that then. It was too late to do anything. I let out a soft sigh, careful that Bruno didn't hear me.
たくさん人が死ぬね。そうだ。ここで一気に敵の数を減らして、今度はこっちが畳みかける番だ。支援砲撃に備えてヘルメットをかぶれ。
He grasped around for a helmet that he must have picked up somewhere along the way and shoved it on his head. Then he pointed at the helmets of Corporal Donnie and Roger, still lying with us in the trench. Ah, they even got a wait. They got kid-sized helmets? Just lying in this trench? Damn. Either one of the soldiers has a small-ass head or Natalie just has a big-ass head. Either way, it's still surprising. I made the sign of the cross before accepting the helmet that Bruno had taken from Corporal Donnie's body and putting it on Natalie's head. Wait, that was Corporal Donnie's helmet? Bruno. Wow. Corporal Donnie has a small head. The helmet was... Okay, yeah, I figured. The helmet was too big for Natalie. It sank down to her eyes. Oh well, I thought. At least it would provide more protection than that way. I fastened the chin strap for her, securing it tightly. Yeah, I mean, I guess a loose-fitting helmet is better than no helmet. Maybe a little too tightly. Natalie pushed it up again, just enough for her to see. She looked around nervously, then reached for Roger's helmet and handed it to me. I crouched down in front of Natalie, low enough for her to put the helmet on my head and fasten it for me. I felt sort of embarrassed, like I was a new king being crowned by a tiny queen. Natalie's so precious. Please don't tell. Oh my god. But I have to... Already expecting her to die. Happened to the rest of the other girls. Also, what do you mean, Natalie, by you're gonna protect him? I couldn't help but let out a soft chuckle at Natalie's words. I don't remember the title, but there's an anime I saw when I was little, which the heroine said the opposite thing. The fact that Natalie still has a sense of humor despite the hellish circumstances gave me a little bit of courage.
Natalie, 君は強いね。こんな状況でも決して泣かない。怖くないのかい?
She nodded in response to my question, her helmet shaking back and forth on her head. She looked me straight in the eye as she continued. Ah. So precious. Natalie's encouraging words were so touching. I felt like I could cry. I couldn't let a girl like her die there. She deserved to be saved. I was filled with a renewed determination to protect her, at any rate. Uh-oh. All endless extinction. Bruno's voice was drowned out by the screeching of shells flying through the air at a distant rumble reminiscent of thunder. Excuse me. It was time. I drew Natalie close to my chest, and we crouched down as deep as we could in the trench. The next moment, my ears were tormented by a bang so loud that it didn't even register as an explosion. It wasn't just my ears that suffered. Shockwaves rippled through my whole body as the blast passed over the trench. I heard distant screams. 1, 2, 3 shells hit in rapid succession, each blow followed by the screams of what must have been enemy soldiers. Lumps of earth rained down on the trench. The rain of mud, the screaming, it was enough to make anybody go insane. In an attempt to take my mind off what was happening around me, I hugged Natalie so close and screamed at the top of my lungs. Woo! Props to his VA for mustering up that scream. Even though I was screaming so loud that my throat was starting to burn, my voice didn't even reach my ears. It was completely drowned out by the explosions. I'm sure it was the same for the soldiers getting ripped to shreds. I couldn't do anything but try desperately to shield the small girl in my arms with my whole body, praying that the fragile flame of her life wouldn't be extinguished. Stop. Please stop this. I just prayed that they would stop firing before I got blown away, along with the life I'd take responsibility for. If only she might survive. That would be good enough for me. That my only wish in that moment. After a short while, the ringing in my ears stopped and I slowly got up. People love finding faults in others in the name of justice. At the same time, they hate it when midwits try to flaunt their shallow knowledge of the world. That's why there will always be war. Even after we die, the fighting will go on. Watching the scene unfold before me, I remember the words of my brother, who volunteered for the guard. I had come to understand what he meant. I understood, but if the war involves episodes as horrible as that, does it have to continue? That was the thought that crossed my muddled mind as the ground continued to quake beneath me, shaking me to the very core. Bruno shouted in my ear. Thick smoke was still rising from the forest. This was enough to convince me that Bruno and I were seeing different things, even if we were looking at the same scene. Oh, I hope none of the girls or the protagonists were caught in that explosion. Please. Please don't tell. Please, just. I don't care about any of the other grunts from Surf die. I just want the girls and Haruto to be safe. He exclaimed again, as if to strengthen his resolve, before tightening the strap of his helmet and slowly crawling out of the trench. What was he planning to do? Looking around, I saw some of our comrades who had survived the bombing crawling out of the trenches. Bruno, having slung all the ammo he could find around his shoulders, looked back at me with a twisted smile from beneath his ill-fitted helmet. Oh boy. Oh no. He ran off before I could tell him to stop and get back in the trench. Why was he fighting? What had driven him over the top? Did he have some reason for fighting so fiercely? Unaware of my inner thoughts, Bruno charged forward without a look back, firing his rifle wildly. I saw the muzzle flashes of his automatic rifle. I saw the glint of empty casings being ejected. Ahead of him, a group of enemy soldiers collapsed to the ground, caught by surprise. After hitting one or two of them, Bruno seemed to completely lose his mind. He kept on shooting, without mercy, killing one person after the other. Whew, Bruno's racking up those kills, huh? He was drunk. Drunk on the adrenaline of a one-sided slaughter. He laughed like a madman, just as his back was beginning to fade into the darkness of the woods. The enemy started firing back. Uh-oh. The blow knocked the wind out of him instantly, and he began coughing up blood. But his finger was still glued to the trigger of his gun. When he ran out of ammo, he reached around his hip to replace the magazine, even as the enemy kept firing at him. Then he finally noticed the countless holes in his body. He tried to insert a new mag into his rifle, into the rifle, but he couldn't get it in place. He tried again and again, but his hand refused to move the way he wanted to. What was going on? Soon as irritation was replaced by confusion. Somehow he managed to reload the rifle. He pulled the trigger again, but then an ally, who had been following close behind him, using him as a shield, stepped out next to him. More men, more muzzles, The more of them there were, the stronger their firepower. But just as it looked like they had gained the upper hand, a strange object was thrown to them into the mist. A grenade! It landed perfectly in the middle of the small group of our men gathered in that spot. It hit the muddy soil with a thud and went off before there was any time to react. Oh, Bruno! Well, rest in peace. Oh, rest in peace, Bruno. He was a good man. There wasn't even time for Bruno to finish his warning before the shrapnel tore through our men in the blink of an eye. An ear-splitting bang. Screams. Some of the fragments managed to land right in front of the trench we were hidden in. Shit! I pushed Natalie's head down and crouched as low as to the ground as humanly possible. Evidently judging their grenade attack effective, the enemy continued lobbing them our way. First the railway gun, then grenades. Explosions were going off all around us, locking Natalie and me in our hiding spot in the trench. All we could do was hope that it would be over soon. With almost every explosion, pieces of debris flew over our heads. Then something landed right on the ground near me with a soft thud. My eyes widened in shock when I saw what it was. My mind raced. What should I do? Throw it back? But what if it's too late? I have to save Natalie. Oh. Before I could make a decision, something sent me flying. Natalie, Sally, and maybe Melissa. Those were the three girls out of the nuns in the group that probably had the most character so far. That we got the most character of. I mean, they did have the most dialogue at least. I'm pretty sure. I kind of knew it was going to happen. I mean, I think it was obvious by now that there was just no hope for any of these girls. The developers, they didn't have any further plans for them. But still, Natalie was just... And this visual, this CG doesn't help either. It's... Fuck. I think Natalie just might be my favorite out of the girls. Out of the TFA nuns. Crap. But I knew this was going to happen. I kind of figured this was going to happen. I did hope that maybe I would have been proven wrong. There was going to be just one, at least one girl that would make it out of this alive. And I was hoping it'd be Natalie. But the devs had different plans. The story had different plans. I'm guessing this is it. This is what drove Patrick over the edge. This is why... I'm guessing this is why he started just spraying everywhere with tears in his eyes. Well... The visual novel's not over yet. I have to keep going. It wasn't a shockwave, but Natalie, who had pushed me away as hard as she could. After checking that it was a short distance away, she laid down again, smothered the grenade with her body. Fuck me. Wasn't she like the youngest? Wasn't she like 10 years old? I can't imagine making that sacrifice at just such a young age.
ダメだ、ナタリー。
She merely looked at me and smiled in response to my shout. She seemed to be reassuring me that it was okay, that this was what she wanted. She wanted you to be... She cared about you too, Patrick. A second later, my vision went blank, as did my mind. For a moment, I couldn't comprehend what had happened. Something powerful pushed me away, and my head struck the trench wall behind me with some force, though the helmet I was wearing softened the blow. Natalie! I tried to shout her name, but my voice wouldn't come out. The shockwave from the explosion had crammed my tongue into the back of my throat, and I couldn't breathe. I jammed my fingers into my mouth to pull it out and took a deep breath. The smoky air burned my windpipe and lungs. The next moment, I spotted a flash of black from the corner of my eye. Something struck my chest, though it was heavier than I would have expected, and took me long to realize what it was. It was Natalie. She had been blown into the air by the force of the explosion and had fallen back to the earth. I cradled her in my arms and tried rousing her. No response. I was scared of the truth. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I couldn't even look at the girl in my arms. But I knew I couldn't stay where I was. If she could be saved, I had to get her to a doctor as soon as possible, or it would be too late. But there's no doctor around. She felt surprisingly light in my arms. Finally, I worked up the courage to look at her. One look and I could see that this wasn't Natalie anymore. This wasn't the girl I had come to know. It was just a lump of charred and torn flesh, roughly the same size as Natalie's little frame. Oh my god. My heart and my stomach and my chest. Oh god. Everything just sank within me. Even though I confirmed the truth with my own eyes, I still couldn't accept it. Hugging the burned remains to my chest, I desperately looked up and down the trench to see if the real Natalie wasn't lying on the ground somewhere. It's pathetic, but I still didn't want to believe that it was really her. Logically speaking, there was no possibility of Natalie having survived that blast, but my heart kept denying it. The 5 stages of grief. I'm sure. Patrick's in the denial phase. Wasn't there some solution? A 1% chance that she might be saved? Were we really stuck here? Were we really stuck there? With no way out? The image of Natalie smiling before she took the blast for me flashed through my mind. My thoughts were spinning off in every direction, but that one image was burned in my mind and always will be. Why did she protect me? I don't understand. She's the one who should have survived. The warmth was slowly disappearing from Natalie's charred remains, as if her life was slipping through my fingers. Heavy tears, thick like blood, ran down my cheeks. I hated the enemy for killing Natalie. I hated myself for failing to protect her. I hated this war. All war! Before I knew what I was doing, I picked up an automatic rifle discarded in the trench and crawled out of my hiding spot. I must be crying at this point. though I can't really tell myself. I'm overwhelmed by a mix of emotions, unlike any I've experienced before. Screaming like a madman, I press down on the trigger of my automatic rifle, the kind I've always hated, and sprayed bullets at random, not aiming at any target in particular. How did things turn out like this? Why am I doing this? I tried to think, but I can't remember anything. I've stopped caring about anything, I guess. My own life, everything I've lived for, none of it matters now. I want to die. I want all of it to be over. Someone kill me. I'm right here. Is there no one around? Please. The next moment, a rifle bullet comes out flying out of nowhere and blows my head off. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Thank you for killing me. That's it, huh? That's the end of Patrick, Bruno, Oliver, and the Nun Girls. And all the soldiers at that base. You know, I'm sure you guys have seen it back in part 1, but when I first met this group, I was like, I'm not gonna care about any of these guys. I don't give a shit about them. Where's the main group? Where's Surf? Where's Sword? Where's Haruto and the girls? I was like, I don't care if they died. But, well, these past 7, 8 parts, they've changed my perception on them, to say the least. I said it before and I'll say it again. This volume does a great job at making you sympathize with the other side, with people who lived under TFA. I mean, yeah, they're supposed to be the antagonist side. Surf is the protagonist, TFA the antagonist, but it still does a really good job at making me care about these characters. Well, some characters more than most. I mean, in a way, like this visual novel, Volume 8, it definitely reminds me of Attack on Titan, because both Attack on Titan and Grisaia Fan Trigger Volume 8, it doesn't glorify war, it shows great losses on both sides, characters dying, likable characters dying on both sides. And that's really what it is. In warfare, there is no good guy, bad guy, no hero or villain, it's just two sides suffering great losses. Both sides had families. Both sides have lives. Both have people young and old just dying senselessly. And that's the reality of war. And this visual novel and Attack on Titan does a great job at depicting that. I mean, I still love Haruto and the others more. But still, the deaths of Patrick, Bruno, Natalie, the girls, they did. I just felt so bad for them. It made me like, it really did hit me in the feels. Like I said, I just can't help but, and then it just goes back to my thought, and back in part 7, I just can't help but think they really should just stayed in that city. They should have stayed in that town. Because I don't think the surf has even reached that town. I mean, sure, you had Murasaki in the cave and Maki and Rena going down the stairs towards the bunker, but maybe just, I think there was at least, I feel like there might have been a better chance for them to survive if they had just stayed. Like, even if Maki found them, they might have survived. Like, I think there was a small chance that they could have survived. Man, they were supposed to escape to safety, but instead they all died. They just went further into hell. Oh, man. Well, anyways, let's continue. 20 minutes earlier. And now now we're back to Surf and Sword. So, so it looks like we're gonna see what exactly these characters what Surf and Sword have been doing this whole war. I'm willing to bet that Toca and Gumi are responsible for the deaths of quite a few characters. Wait, come to think of it, Alma, Irma, and Sally, they might still be alive. So, yeah, I mean, so in other words, I think there's still a chance that those three girls can make it out of this, right? Right? We're just gonna have to wait. I'm just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe that'll change soon. Ugh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, even though you're a sniper, I'm pretty sure usually less action is preferred, right? Well, there's plenty of grass in front of you. There's plenty of vegetation in front of you. That sounds good. Total food porn? Are you kidding me? Jesus. Those are the cutest fueled rations I've ever seen. While you're in war and beggars can't be choosers, huh? Beggars can't be choosers in war, Megami. Ah, yeah, they were the ones guarding the spring. Ugh. She's thirsty.
ダメでありますか？ダメとは
It's not her fault. Her and Rena have big stomachs, although I'm pretty sure Rena's stomach is bigger.
向きと言えなくもないし。でありますか。でもあんまりガブガブ飲むとおトイレ行きたくなるわよ。ああ、そう言われると急におしっこがしたくなったであります。
Well then, if that happens, then I hope you girls took Yuji's strategy and wore diapers.
だから言ったのに。
Yes, I did remember.
そのまま垂れ流しなさい。
Yeah, I did remember. Like, I'm pretty. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm at the very least pretty sure that there was a dialogue in Fruit of Grisaia where Yuji did mention that during his mentions. I think he did mention that he would wear a diaper while sniping because, well, I mean, obviously, you can't leave your post when you're sniping when you've taken up a sniper position. But you gotta relieve yourself somehow. That waste has gotta go somewhere, so.
意地悪でありますか？
Yeah, maybe it's time we give Megan me a diaper.
違うわよ。昔から女性スナイパーってのはジョンに会いに行った瞬間に狙撃されて死ぬってのが定番なのよ。いわゆるジンクスね。
Stories about women be. Really? I have never heard those stories.
そのジョンとは誰でありますか？ああ、日本語風に言うとお花を摘みに行って狙撃された。
Powder their nose. Now that is an old-fashioned expression if I've ever seen one.
ああ、トイレに行って殺されたということでありますね。
Yes. Although technically there is no toilet around.
そういうこと。水飲み場とトイレは狙われやすいって覚えておきなさい。確かに狙撃屋が狙撃で死んだら恥ずかしいでありますね。
But at the same time, that's also part of a sniper's job, to shoot other snipers.
来たわよ。方角を11時の方角、距離1200。捕らえたであります。塹壕の中に2名。よく見なさい。周囲にもたくさんいるわ。3、4、5、6、7、8。結構な数でありますね。どこから流れてきたのでありましょうか。証拠を探しなさい。できるだけハイバリューなターゲットを探すの。軍は一匹の巨大な怪物だけど、兵隊なんてレミングみたいなものよ。リーダーを倒せば途端に統制をなくしてバラバラになる。バラバラになった兵はもう軍として機能しない。そうなればもう怪物でも何でもないわ。連中にはもうまともな証拠は残っていないのでは？
Is that when Donnie died, or?
その割には統率のある動きというか、何かの法則に従って行動しているというか、明確な意志を持った動きをしている。
No. Donnie. No. Donnie died way after, so. I think 20 minutes later. I'm assuming Donnie was still alive. Yeah, Donnie was still alive 20 minutes earlier.
なんでありましょうか。
Around this time.
意図的に
What am I
残存
thinking?
兵を同じ場所に集めているようにも見えるであります。まるでこちらを誘い込んでいるような釣りの伏せ的な戦術でありましょうか。それなら穴にこもらずに逃げ続けるでしょう。何かもっと他の意味が。
あなたそれ、熊代めぐみが正しい答えにたどり着けるか試しているの？それとも本当に分かっていないの？どっち？
The analysis is about to enlighten
どう
them.
いう意味よ。
あなた、さっき自分で答えを口にしていたじゃない。指揮官を失った兵なんてレミングみたいなものだって。
そういうこと。
他に考えようなんてないじゃない。
どういうことでありますか？自分にも分かるように説明してほしいであります。
いい？指揮官を失った兵なんてレミングのようなもの。そしてどうすることもできずに追い詰められたレミングはどうする？
あいにくと自分はレミングに対する造形が深くないであります。ど うするの？
Lemming psychology.
集団自殺。
That is actually a myth. Lemmings do not, actually do not commit mass suicide, contrary to popular belief. I believe that myth was made up by, I think, Disney or made up by somebody. Either way, it's a myth.
敵が一箇所に集合したのは私たちを一箇所に集めるため。そして自らをおとりにして集めた敵を例の降射法で自分たちもろとも一気に吹き飛ばすつもりね。
そんなデタラメな作戦が？どの時代の戦場でもよくある作戦。ヘドが出そう。
Is it?
とにかく無線で本部に連絡を。
Blowing up your own men?
つなぐわよ。
Is something wrong, Toca?
急いで兵を退避させて。
Oh wait,
敵の降射砲砲撃。
he's talking through a walkie-talkie. Oh, I'm gonna cover up my voice. How sure are you about that?
100%。
What did she say? Oh. Okay. I'll make sure they hurry.
敵の降射砲らしき熱源の移動を確認。本当に急いだ方がいいわよ。
All troops, retreat!
敵降射砲の攻撃規模から計算すると、ここも安全ではないわ。あなたたちも逃げなさい。
Yes, please get out of there. I don't want to see any of you girls getting blown up.
めぐみ、はいであります。でも、逃げるってどっち？敵からも、味方からも離れるのよ。1メートルでも遠くへ。来た。
Uh-oh.
伏せて。熱波が血を張ってくるわよ。喉と肺を焼かれないように息を止めて、口は閉じないように。
How? Damn, how is that even possible? Wait. I guess that's possible.
熱い。皮膚の表面がチリチリと痛い。
Oh god, survive. Survive, girls, survive.
これ、いつまで続いて。
Like I said, I don't know if you guys have plot armor.
耳が、鼻が焼け落ちちゃうであります。
No, no, come on, Megami, you got this. Stay with me, stay with me.
助けてください。志保先輩。
No, she's gone.
なんてこと
You
な
got
い。
Toca.
すぐに終わる。耐えなさい。トーカ先輩。次が来るわよ。耳をかばって、鼻をストールで隠して。
Oh no, come on, Megami, stay with me, stay with me.
耐え忍んだのだろうか。3発目以降は覚えていない。息を止め、じっと耐えているだけの時間にも限界が来て、貪るように息を吸えば、喉が張り付き、肺が焼けるように痛い。思わず咳き込んだ瞬間、口の中に経験したことのない苦みが広がった。ああ、喉がやられてしまったかもしれない。鼻の奥も痛い。声は出るだろうか。そんなことを思っていると、体の上に乗っていた重みがすっと軽くなり、トーカ先輩が覆いかぶさってくれていたことに気がついた。トーカ先輩、無事？
Oh, oh my god. Fucking hell, Toca, don't scare me like that. Holy shit. I mean, as soon as oh my god, as soon as Megami said that Toca was shielding her with her body, and the explosion was still going on, I was just, I was feeling for the worst. Oh my god.
はい、なんとか。
Okay. Looks like you guys are still... Looks like the story still has plans for you guys. For now, at least.
ずっと自分をかばっていてくれたでありますか。あなた、こんな大規模砲撃は初めてでしょ。パニックでも起こして暴れないようによ。
And you have dealt with an artillery attack like that, Toca?
喉をやられたみたいね。水を飲んで冷やしておきなさい。近くに弾着したわけでもないのに、こんな。多分だけど、クラスター弾頭で砲撃って聞くとどうしても爆死ってイメージがあると思うけど、死因の大半は窒息死よ。
Yeah, usually when it comes to explosions, the deadliest thing, I mean, the explosion itself isn't the only thing that kills people. It's the shrapnel that flies everywhere at high speeds. It's the shockwave that can collapse your lungs. And then... and a whole bunch of other stuff. Oh, and of course, the heat.
クラスター弾頭は使用禁止条約が締結されているので
Explosions? I don't think it... No, it isn't. If it were, then we wouldn't have, like, missiles and tanks and all that. And rocket launchers. I think chemical weapons are banned.
まあ、日本は2009年に受諾しているけど、すべての国が条約に署名しているわけじゃないし、そもそも条約なんてテロリストには関係ないんじゃない。そんなことよりも被害状況の確認を。ああ、みんな吹っ飛んじまったであります。なんという破壊力でありましょうや。無線が通じないわ。タナトスさんとの回線もオフラインのままだし、皆が心配であります。大丈夫よ。この程度で死ぬような連中じゃないから。味方の心配よりまず自分の心配をしなさい。
Oh, is that who I think it is?
また戦闘が始まったであります。敵は残ったこちらの兵力をここで一気に削ぐつもりね。そうはさせないわ。ここから間引ける敵は片っ端から間引くわよ。トーカ先輩、何よ。子供が戦場に子供が。どこ？左奥の塹壕のあたりであります。
Yep, that's Patrick. So, wait. Wait, those explosions lasted for 20 minutes? Wait. Yeah, because after Patrick, it said 20 minutes earlier, and then we see Toca and Gumi, and we see them like right before the field cannon, right before the bombs start dropping. So, 20 minutes have gone by that fast? Damn, all that happened in 20 minutes? Holy shit. Was it 20 minutes of like just a constant barrage of artillery and explosions? Oof. I can definitely, yeah, that's definitely hell on earth.
あの様子は一体。もう敵も味方も関係ない。
He's trying to die, that's what he's doing.
事態を憎んでいるって顔ね。自分のことだけ考えて戦争やってるからああなるのよ。祖国のため、仲間のためって自分以外の利益を考えて戦ってれば。
Damn,
ある
she
程度諦めもつくから。
just one side of him. And Toca already figured all that out.
そういうものでありましょう。
Clever girl.
戦争だけじゃないわ。仕事ってそういうものだって割り切らないと、理想とかけ離れた現実に裏切られた気がして、あんな風にわめき散らすのよ。見てられないであります。きっと彼はこの戦争
Oh, Gumi, you have no idea.
常識とか価値観というものをことごとく壊されたのでありましょうな。
He must have lost something very important in the war. Oh, Megami, you have no idea.
ああなってしまえば、怒り狂って他人を憎むと、泣きながら自分を憎むしかない。どっちにしたって地獄よね。どうするでありますか。銃を手にして向けてくる以上は、相手が子供だろうと敵よ。ふざけてやりました。冗談です。ごめんなさい。で許される範疇を超えているわ。自分には彼を撃つのは辛すぎるであります。
I feel for you, Megami, but even if it wasn't Patrick, you can't hesitate like this in the battlefield.
いいわ、私がやるから。あなたは撃っても両親が痛まなそうなやつを選んで撃ちなさい。嫌な言い方をするでありますね。言わせたのはあなたよ。命令していただければやれるであります。それこそ嫌よ、そんな命令出すの。
Nah. Are you sure, Megami? I don't think you can take it.
だったらせめて見ていなさい。彼の最後。
Those two girls are gonna give him that courtesy at least, huh?
はい。さあ、姉さん。
No, 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 don't. Okay, hold on just a minute. I want to say something first before.
環境を設定するね。サウンドの設定しちゃおっか。
I want to say something first. Okay. I just want to say that, in a way, Toca shooting Patrick was probably, how do I say this? Even though these two forces are bitter enemies, I feel like, in a way, Toca and Gumi shooting Patrick, that is perhaps the only type of human connection we've seen between both of these, between both sides in this bitter war. Because Toca and Gumi, they understood Patrick. They understood why he was doing that. And they watched his final moments. They gave him that courtesy. And they gave him a quick death. And Patrick, even though Toca and Gumi will never know, Patrick thanked them. He thanked them for giving such a painless death and just getting him away from it all. It's fucked up that that's kind of like the only bit of human connection that those two forces have, what we've seen so far. But anyways, oh my god, don't, Maki, please don't. You mentioned sis. Don't worry me like this. I swear to God. No, she's all right. She's all right. Rena's a trooper. She can survive this, right? No, you're okay, Rena. You're okay, Rena. You just knocked out, right? You just hit your head, right?
待ってろ、姉さん。今掘り出すから。掘り出す。姉さん、しっかり目開けて息を。
No. Okay. Okay, she's okay. Guys, this.
マキ、何があったの？ハルトが総員対比大爆防御って叫んだろ。その直後に。
I hate that I'm fearing for everybody's safety right now, even the main characters. I'm going through so much pain.
私はとっさに近くの穴に飛び込んで助かったんだけど。姉さんは間に合わなくて、砲撃の後、姉さんを探したら地面からこう足だけ出てて、慌てて掘り返した。
Okay, well, at least you two are okay. Oh my god, honestly, if they killed off Rena right here, I don't know what I'd do.
そっか。マスターの声を聞いたところまでは覚えてるんだけど。 至近で着弾した古弾の爆発で巻き上げられた土砂に飲まれたっぽいね。まあ、土砂に埋もれてたおかげで助かったっぽいね。ラッキー。
Yeah, lucky indeed.
ラッキーじゃないよ、姉さん。私がどんだけ心配したと思ってんだよ。
Hey, Maki, it could have been worse, okay?
大丈夫だって。この程度で死ぬような女じゃないし、私。
You know, Rena? I really hope that's true. I really fucking hope that's true.
何言ってんだよ。
こいつがとっさにかばってくれなきゃ姉さんは今頃バラバラだったんだぞ。
What guy?
こいつ？
ほら、そこで死んでる。子弾が降ってきた時、
Aww.
こいつが姉さんを突き飛ばしたから助かったんだ。
Well, rest in peace, guy. Thanks for saving Rena.
そっか。私をかばってくれたんだ。誰だか知らないけど、ありがとう。あんたの分は私がちゃんと働くから、あとは任せて安らかに死んでね。
こいつはあれだよ。ネイルサロンがどうこう言ってたサーフの元海兵だよ。
Oh. Wait. Oh, yeah. I think I remember. Wait. Yeah, I remember him. I think he was, yeah, he was the one of the two surf soldiers that Rena was talking to. Alright, damn, I remember them being pretty nice guys. Aww. I think his name was like what, Surf Commander A or something like that, or Surf Trooper A or something.
ああ、じゃあネイルサロンの予約はキャンセルだね。電話しとかないと。
Oh, I hope they clip his nails, clip and paint his nails, yeah, in his funeral.
いや、冗談だろ、あんなの。
あ、っていうか、私のライフルがない。どこ行ったの？
姉さん、あそこ。
あった。ああ、もう埋まっちゃってるよ。壊れてないといいけど。
After she survived a fucking artillery explosion, she still has energy to worry about her rifle.
大丈夫そう。ありがとう、神様。もう離さないぞ。
姉さん、大丈夫なのかよ。
Yes, actually, yes, I'm pretty sure she did. Explosions does that to people.
私？平気平気。それより。
And plus, she still has that bandage on her head. So there's that.
他の連中は？
何人か吹っ飛ばされたっぽいけど、砲撃前の警告で退避できたやつは大半生き残ってるよ。
よし、味方集めよう。マキはアタッカー集めて。
わかった。
おいおい、砲撃の直後だぞ。
砲撃の直後だからだよ。もうしばらくは砲撃はないから、今がチャンスでしょ。
なんで砲撃はないって言い切れるんだ。
あんたさ、グレネードを何個も何個も投げる？1個か2個を時間差で投げたら効果を確認するでしょ。砲撃も同じ。敵は今、
Wait.
お休みの時間だから砲撃はない。
なんで言ってるだけじゃねえか。いや、深見の言う通りだ。逆に言えば、今動かなければ敵の総突撃を食らう羽目になる。その前にこちらから押し込んだ方がいい。
Who was Kuwabara again? I forgot.
隊長、いいんですか？
Yes, you're gonna listen to her.
いいんだよ。むしろこの場は深見に。
Wait, I think.
お前たちよりよっぽど現場慣れしていて、立ち直りが誰よりも早かったぐらいだ。
Wait, is she the Wait, is Kuwabara the what am I saying she for? Is Kuwabara the soldier that that gave Maki the okay to punch a dude? Wait, was it Maki or Rena? Shit, I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was Maki, right? Yeah, I think Kuwabara was the commander that was there when Rena or Maki punched the dude for disrespecting them.
しかし、構わんな、葵よ。
You want Rena to take the lead? Sure, that's fine by me, but
マスター、無事だった？
well, yeah, I'm the one who gave the order to retreat. The other girls are fine too. Thank God.
よかった。
あのタイミングで退避命令がなかったら危なかった。よくやったぞ、葵。
Thank you, Haruto. Thank you. Truly one of the best MCs ever. It was thanks to our spotter.
姉さん、使えそうな突撃兵集めてきたぜ。
よし、 すぐ打って出るよ。準備して。
おい、どうすんだよ。説明くらいしろって。
マキが集めてきた連中がアタッカー。他は全員ミドル。ロング担当も含めて全員ミドル。勢いで押してくよ。わかった？
そんな雑な説明でわかるか。
I don't know, it seems pretty self-explanatory to me.
いい？マキが率いるアタッカーは詰めれるだけ前に駒を詰めていくから、私たちはそれのフォロー。アタッカーを見失わないのがミドルの仕事。オッケー？
わかった。
前に出たアタッカーを傍観してちゃダメだよ。アタッカーを押し上げてやるのがミドルの仕事だからね。それ後ろも見ないで繰り出してたアタッカーがいてほしいと思うところにいるのがミドルの基本。アタッカーが振り返った時、ミドルが顔を出して見せてあげると、アタッカーは安心して前に進めるってのを忘れないように。
要は周りをよく見て上手に立ち回れってことだな。
Yes.
そういうこと。難しく考える必要なんてないよ。要は敵を倒すことよりも周りが安心して動けるように気をつけて行動をするだけ。
アタッカーに取らせるように動けってことだな。
Yes, that's why they're called attackers, isn't it?
そう。そんでね、アタッカーはアタッカーで敵が突っ込んでくる系か引きこもって待ち構える系かをしっかり判断して動いて。
わかった。つまりいつも通り
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. It sounds like the same plan as usual. Just go in, shoot a bunch of people, fuck shit up. Simple as that.
そこだけ気をつけてくれればいいよ。いろんなものを見て考えるのは私たちに任せておいて。ミドル組も地味な役回りを押し付けられたんじゃなくて、上級者向けの立ち回りを任せてもらったんだって考えて、期待を裏切らないように頑張っていこう。
お前バカっぽいくせに結構考えてる。
Yeah, like I said, Rena has plenty of her smart moments.
戦争は頭だよ、男子諸君。実は戦争に武器の優劣はあんまり関係ない。集団心理を読むことが大切なのだよ。むふー。
Never change, Rena, never change.
ムカつく顔すんなお前。
Oh, come on. How could you be pissed off by this?
さあ行くぞ、ロードマン。動け動け、ムーブムーブ。
Move, move!
最近の子供にかかれば戦争もまるでスポーツですね。
Well, when you're as good as the kids at sword, then you might as well.
確かに連中はスポーツみたいに人を殺しやがる。人としちゃ最悪だ。
But you need them. Because if you guys don't, without them, you guys would be nothing. You guys would probably have suffered a lot more casualties. I must apologize for our students' behavior.
言い訳しながら人を殺してる俺たちとどっちがマシだ。
True.
言い訳しながらするような仕事なら最初からすんなってあいつらに言われちまえば返す言葉もねえ。
Well, at least Kuwabara knows self-reflection.
最近のガキはなんて寝ぼけたこと言ってんじゃねえ。あいつらをあんな風に育てちまったのは俺たち大人だってことを忘れるな。
That's true.
はい、すいませんでした。
Kuwabara has some great self-awareness.
分かったら言ってこい。学生にばっかいい格好させるな。
はい。
すまんな。うちの若いのが懲りもせず何度も学生に噛みついて。
It's completely understandable that people should get upset when some part-timers start acting like they're in charge. Our class doesn't really observe the seniority rule when it comes to rank.
まあ上官を上官とも思っていないようなお前の部下だしな。その辺は仕方がなかろうとは思っているが。
Please don't be mean. I'm trying to have a polite conversation with you here, aren't I?
敬語を使ってりゃいいって問題じゃないんだがな。貴様のそういうとこだぞ。
To be honest, I can see why he points that out. Haruto just loves being a smartass. Of course I respect you, Kurabara-san, but not because of your rank. I don't think that higher ranked people automatically deserve more respect on the battlefield.
ゴミ野郎のクソ命令であっても従わなければいけないのが軍隊という組織だから。気持ちはわからんでもないし、多少は素直になって正直な態度になった方が健康にはよかろう。
It must have been even tougher for you, having to deal with pressure from both above and below.
毎日毎日戦争で嫌になる。興味本位で聞くが、貴様は上からの圧力と下からの突き上げ、どう対処している？
I'm sure he just completely ignores it. Me? I just go crazy. I just go with the flow, accept the madness. Try to remain the model of sobriety at war, and you really will go insane. What you need in war is a villain that everyone hates and heroes that everyone loves. You're never really fighting for peace, are you? In the end, it always comes down to politicians' approval ratings. True.
やめてくれよ、そういう話。聞くんじゃなかった。間違ってないだけに余計に腹が立つ。
What's wrong, Kuwabara? Does it really annoy you that Haruto and lots of the other kids at Sword are very wise for their age? What you need on the battlefield is a defiant attitude, right? In the end, it doesn't matter who's right or who's wrong.
こんな飼い主に飼われてりゃ、そりゃ飼い犬もああなるって話だな。
This war will be over soon, and then we'll be on to the next war.
問題はどう終わらせるかということだ。
I'm not sure. I've heard that Nishi-san is particularly bad at ending conflicts.
確かに漆原は
Where did you come from?
嫌いなところがあるんだ。あれもさすがに大人になっただろう。
I don't think so. But we'll see. Ichiru-san, you're okay?
その言い草は皮肉にも聞こえるな。
I mean it sarcastically.
ああ、そうか。だと思ったよ。
Just straight up admits it.
姉上よ、いるならいるで。
Oh, wow.
やるべきことがあるのではないかね。見たまえ、周りは怪我人だらけだ。
And the land whale is here too. I'm guessing that's part of the reason why some of these characters, some of the people at Surf survived. His blubber probably absorbed all the shrapnel and shockwaves.
怪我人だらけということは、一人一人見て回る余裕などないということだ。今はクリスとタイガがトリアージをして回っている。患者のプライオリティが決まるまで、私は下手に手出しもできんのだよ。そういう愚弟こそ何をしている？
Dumbo.
他の学生たちは皆勇猛果敢に戦場を前進しているというのに。
うちは山狩り屋だ。前線が通り過ぎた後に残党狩りをさせてもらう。
Where?
うかつに
Who's weird?
背後から狙われんように。
You say it's our job, but all you're doing is sitting here and giving orders, aren't you, Ayame-san?
それは貴様も同じだろう、ハルト。半端に偉くなると現場にいても皆で仲良く悪い奴を倒そうというわけにはいかん。
I suppose not.
気をつけろ。立場が上がると知り合いばかりが増えて友達が減る。
Is that generally how it goes, sir?
なぜ私に聞く？
Because you're the most experienced among us.
そうだな。立場が上がれば身軽さを失う。立場と同時に手に入れた見せかけの自由は孤独感を加速させる。
Shit, damn, if that's the case, then it's a wonder why anybody will want a promotion in the military.
ハルトよ、友達なんてものは一緒にいて楽しければそれだけで100点なのだ。友情に細かい点数をつけ始めれば友達などあっという間にいなくなるぞ。
Do you have any friends, Ayame-san?
友達のありがたさというのは疎遠になって初めてわかるものだ。
I'm sure Aoi came to mind when he said that.
28名の選別が終了しました。軽度負傷者はこちらで負担する。重度負傷者は任せるぞ、おばさま。
はいよ、任せておきたまえ。
私は皆に必ず助けてやると約束したのだ。 多少嘘つきにしないでくれ。
はいはい。じゃあまずは最初の患者を私の医療者へ。
Yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that Chris and Taiga are putting in overtime. They're working their asses off saving all these injured troops. Good job, girls.
前線から伝令だよ。茶そ巻きが引っ張ってる部隊が200メートルほど前線を押し上げてる。そろそろ後ろからバックアップを。
先弁はついたようだな。よし、犬を放て。我が愛しき犬たちよ、突撃せよ。すべての配信者に神の裁きを。
God's judgment upon the infidels? When did you become the radical religious type, Ayame?
そういうことならうちの残りも動こう。ではな、葵。
Yes, sir. I wish you the best of luck.
で、ハルトはどうするんだい？
I'm heading out there too, of course. Even Yuki is on the front line, isn't she? I can't have everyone thinking I'm just leaning back in my lazy chair here.
姉者は今、敵の本拠地に潜入できるルートがないか探してる。うまくいけば、これ以上の被害を出さずに占拠できるかも。
I can't imagine it being as easy as that, but we have no choice but to push on. Well then, I guess it's time to end this. What are you going to do, Enishi-san? Woo-hoo! That's the first time we've actually seen Haruto in this whole visual novel. No, wait, no. We saw a part of him back when he was petting Rena. Never mind. But still, this smile though, wicked, absolutely wicked. I love it. And you know what? Oh, that's... Yep, there's Jaja. Alright, so it looks like we're going to be switching back to the higher up side of TFA. And this is a good place to stop. But yeah. Well, in this playthrough, we just witnessed the death of the TFA group. Patrick, Oliver, Bruno, and the girls. And it was not easy to watch, especially Natalie's death and Patrick's too. It's so... I really want Natalie to survive. But, like I said, there is a chance that Sally and the twins are still alive. Because we haven't heard shit about the twins other than Henry Mendez is protecting them. And Sally is missing somewhere. So, unless I hear an actual sentence or piece of dialogue that says that she's dead, I'm going to assume that she's not dead. I'm willing to give it the benefit of a doubt. So, yeah. I do hope that at least one of those three girls made it out. I mean, there has to be something good for them, right? Right? Come on, Grisaia devs. But that looks to be the end of that group, at least for now. And we already seen how Sword dealt with that artillery fire thanks to Haruto's warning, whose order to retreat saved everybody. Well, almost everybody. Well, everybody important, I should say. And now we're back to, once again, now we're back to switching to the higher up side, Inishi and the others. So yeah, let's see where that goes in part 9. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, support my Patreon. Links in the description down below. And I will see you guys next time.